Again, we talked about failure and knowing when something was a failure. How did you know it was a success?
Well, this one was interesting because first of all, a friend of mine, if you've heard of, Guy Kawasaki out of the valley here, but I went to Guy and I said, he loved the first product and he was helping me out with it. And I said, we're going to change the whole company and go to this new idea. And he goes, it's stupid. He says, nobody copies and pastes on the internet. And I said, well, let me plug this little piece of technology into your website, Guy, and let's see what's happening. And we plugged it in on his website, and it was giving him a very raw stream of what was being copied off of his own website. And he came to me about an hour after it was live and said, your software is obviously broken. It says that 90 people have copied from my website in the last 60 minutes. And I said, actually, they have. And here's their IP addresses, here's what they copied, and here's what they did with it. And it completely converted him. But for me, when I knew we were succeeding, we originally went out to Guy and about a dozen people I knew who had websites, and we had them deploy our test code. And then we decided that the test code was robust enough. We would ask them if they had a few friends who'd be willing to deploy this for us as well. And I hoped I would get 50 sites to participate in our beta. We had 50 sites basically asked to be in the beta. In the first 24 hours, we'd put the request out. And it was a closed beta. You couldn't come and just grab the code and deploy it. And I started getting emails. And within 3 weeks, I had 1,000 sites that had contacted me asking to deploy our code. And that's when I had a good feeling that we were on the right track. So we opened up the sign-up process and made it a public beta, and then anybody could come and download the code. And it went from 1,000 sites to 10,000 sites, and it just continued to rocket up to the point where we were on 650,000 publishers, including every major newspaper and magazine in North.
Well, didn't I read that you had more than 1 billion unique people tracked, so 1 billion people interacted with code that you had provided to all of these publishers? Is that right? 1 billion? More than 1 billion?
1.25 billion unique individuals that we tracked anonymously across the internet. Yes.
Wow.